Alright, people. So I wanted to make a video here on ISIS, a little short video, I guess. Not a long video, but I just want to reiterate the fact. Let's remember who has given ISIS all their weapons. Us. And it's not just me saying that. It's mainstream news saying we fund terrorism. It's Rand Paul speaking out on us funding ISIS. Ted Cruz said, "Let's not be ISIS or Al Qaeda's air force," and we're tired of being Al Qaeda's air force. That's what Ted Cruz said. I believe he was on the Blaze interview or some shit like that. So I mean, it's not just me saying that. It's mainstream people. It's people inside the government saying that. And all these people are beating the war drums. Let's put boots on the ground, have another 10-year war, lose a few thousand men. Throw away $1 trillion, $2 trillion fighting something we funded in the first place. Now, I think that before we make a decision on whether to bomb ISIS or not, we have to realize, in the first place, we funded them purposely to begin with. We funded them, and you see, we're overthrowing all these regimes in the Middle East. Assad, Gaddafi, Hussein. We're overthrowing all these, regimes. We're trying to overthrow Assad, but we're, fucking shit up in the Middle East. Assad, even though he's not great, he is not, he's not friendly to Al Qaeda and ISIS. So, but then we're fighting the Free Syrian the Syrian rebels, which retired Lieutenant Colonel Anthony Shaver said over 65% are ISIS, by the way. We're funding them to overthrow Assad. So, for some fucking reason, but Assad's against ISIS. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense right there. And then ISIS is just getting all these airdrops from us. It's getting all these high-tech weapons from us too. Oh, they're raiding bases and just taking Stinger missiles and the 5 weapons worth $500,000, 52 each worth 50. I got the article somewhere in my room. Let me see if I can find it. Right here. I think I was lying. ISIS militants captured 52 American-made artillery weapons that cost $500,000 each. 52. That's 6 million worth of weapons that they just captured. You've got to be, they cannot be just captured. Oh, they just took over all our high-powered weapons. Give me a fucking break. We are funding Al Qaeda, ISIS. I say that they're getting all these new names now. ISIL, ISIS, IS, Khorasan, all these new names to probably confuse the public. And people go, oh, what's ISIL? What's that mean? It's all the same thing. We all funded them. And you see, if they call it Al Qaeda, people might be like, oh, didn't we just fight Al Qaeda? Why do we need to fight them again? But ISIS, oh, it's a new threat now. ISIS. So, we funded them in the first place. Before, if the public recognizes that we did fund them, maybe then we can make a decision to just wipe them out. Yes, we funded them. We were responsible for their upbringing and their rise to power. But we need to take them out now because they're a big threat to the Middle East. Okay, let's not send ground troops in, but let's bomb them and get them the fuck out. Alright? But again, we were the ones that funded them in the first place. And right now, no, I do not support military action against ISIS. I think if we stop funding these so-called Syrian rebels, aka ISIS, and actually started, getting our noses out of it, that the Kurds could take care of them. But we keep supporting ISIS, and, look at what happens. We keep overthrowing people, and this is what happens. If we never did all of this shit, I'm sure ISIS would have never even been this close to being as powerful as it is now. But there you go, people. There's your United States of America. And of course, the public is brainwashed. Let's go to war. Let's go to war. Yeah, they don't even realize 1/10 of the whole story. Wake up, people. We fund ISIS. You know, you think this is a coincidence? You know, they just keep getting our weapons? Bullshit. That's bullshit, you know. Oh, they get, you know, $26 million more worth of U.S. weapons. Oh, yeah. Fucking, you know, this is retarded, you know. Somebody needs to fucking... If ISIS keeps getting millions upon millions of dollars of our own weapons, somebody needs to be fired in our, you know, in our military. This is retarded. Our politicians are doing this on purpose to destabilize the Middle East, to further the New World Order agenda. So there you go, people. No, you know, ISIS isn't just this random ass terrorist group that just arose out of nowhere. They're funded by us and our allies to destabilize the Middle East. So there you go, and to start a whole new, you know, long war and to take away our freedoms. So there you go, people.